Hello, hello. We are so happy and grateful that you are here. I am Nancy White, and I am your host of your show. And welcome back. This is the Healthy Sales Chick Show. And as my friend Paula Fellingham always says, she is the founder of Win Win Women. We welcome you with open hearts and open arms. Again, I'm Nancy White, your host of this show. I have a question for you. Are your body cells happy and healthy from head to toe? Maybe they need a little refreshing makeover. Here we love to talk about our healthy mind, body, and spirit. And for optimum health, we should nourish all three every single day. Our discussions are going to include attributes, tips, or suggestions for acquiring and maintaining, there's that word, maintaining a healthy mind, body, and spirit. But healthy living always starts in our mind, in this amazing computer that we have. Today, we have a special guest, Cathy Weaver, to get to know and learn from. Our topic's going to be what's in your water and how it affects our overall health. We're going to talk about the importance of water in our health, what's in most waters, and what's the difference and the benefits of waters. I met Cathy almost 2 years ago, and she is one of the kindest, heart-centered, smart ladies I know. Welcome, Cathy.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, we're so happy. And so Cathy began networking full-time almost 14 years ago. And when she co-founded her Miracles with Water company, and you're going to hear more about that. And she was soon referred to as a master networker. And her first of 3 books is on networking on steroids. And one of the largest blessings in Cathy's life, besides her precious family, and is Kangen Water and the Ignatic Company. And in 2014, Cathy became a certified Ignatic trainer, and she was commissioned to spread true health globally with compassion, one family at a time. Cathy's second book was released on July 1st, 2017, and is a memoir of her experience with death and dying and survivorship. He hit the clouds running and never looked back. So, along with everybody else during the pandemic of 2020, forcing everyone just to pivot in their personal lives and businesses, Cathy's third book, a sequel to her first book, evolved. Networking on Steroids, PQ. And this book is a guide to networking in a world post-quarantine. Again, Cathy, welcome. We're so grateful for you being with us. And could you just share with us a little bit about how and why you became an expert in the water industry?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Nancy. That is a complex yet simplistic question. I've been interested in nutrition literally since 1981. And I choose personally to not use pharmaceuticals if possible. And so my if possible turned out to be never use them. And I raised my kids the very same way. And the good news is, regardless of what malady came up, we took care of it nutritionally. And so water is a big piece of that. And I've always been searching for the best water this, the best filter that, the best, what do I do about this? And research. So one year I was in the supplement business, and one year I actually made 1 month's salary, $230. And I'm sorry to tell you, that's the highest I ever made in the supplement business. So needless to say, my husband was thrilled to be able that I was a stay-at-home mom and we were not relying on my massive income to support our family. So I always was interested in wellness, but I realized that supplement one pill at a time was probably not going to sustain my lifestyle. And so I kept searching. And one day in 2008, I was at a networking event and there was a couple there, looked very affluent and polished and wonderful. And they stood up in front of the room and said, "We give away free water." And I thought, So I made a beeline to them after the event. And I said, "Okay, Uncle, I want to know how you do this and look like you do." They explained it to me, and the rest is history.
Wow, isn't it amazing? And you mentioned something, networking, and you and I met each other networking, and you have done such an amazing job with our beautiful Happy Neighborhood project. And so, can you share with people just really quickly before we talk more about water, the importance of networking and what that has done even in your business, Cathy?
Oh, absolutely. In 2008, when I found Enagic, the Kangen Water Company, I wanted to share it with the world, but I anticipated that Jesus was going to just pull people to my house and they were going to stand in line outside my door and buy machines. And I was going to just have the best life ever. Well, a couple months into that, I sold one here, one there, a couple family members, that kind of thing. But they weren't lined up at the front door. And I thought, this is not going to work. I better figure out how to get the word out publicly. So I wanted to know what networking meant. And so one person invited me to a meetup. Another person invited me to a Chamber of Commerce event. And that really is how my networking career was born. So I made a pact with myself. I will make every effort possible to go to every event I'm invited to. And I did. And that's how the Master Networker came up. Oh my gosh, you're everywhere. And so I really was.
Oh, that is awesome. And you know what? The Happy Neighborhood Project is now, we started out, just as like one meeting, and now we're global all around the world. And we'll give everybody information more about the Happy Neighborhood Project networking also. So Cathy, going back to our water, and you have been in this industry for over a decade and plus. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit, in your mind, in your opinion, I know being in health and wellness that, our body needs, we have to breathe air, but we need water, number one. So tell me about the importance of water in our health, Cathy.
When I started researching about water and the significance, and certainly Enagic, the Kangen Water Company, that was my biggie. Why is this water different? So the couple that actually said we give away free water, I was invited to their home. I got to see the machine in action, and I actually got to taste the water. Everyone always says to me, what does it taste like? And so as soon as they come to my home or get their own machine, they taste it and they go, this tastes like water. And I said, well, isn't that a good thing? Because it is water. And so that's usually the first thing people want to know. But then for me, the skepticism piece kicked in, and I needed to know before I put my name on it, endorsing it, that it was the real deal. So I researched everything I could. What does the water do? Why is it different? How long has the company been around? And at this moment, 48 years. So we're super excited about that. And so I needed to know why Enagic, the Kangen Water Company, was different than ABC filter, DEF bottled water, all the different things that are out there. And so the more research I did, the more convicted I became. And that's when I said yes to Kangen Water.
Wow, that is awesome. So I love having fun, Cathy. And so this is part of my fun. We're going to just stop for just a moment because I love doing some things to help make people laugh. So this is just a fun little joke. It says, why did the water jump back into the water bottle every time someone drank from it?
I don't know.
It contains spring water.
There we go.
But anyways, so a couple of fun facts, Cathy, is that, and you know this too, that our earth, our beautiful earth that God created, is covered with about 71% water. And also our bodies are 58 to 78% water, depending upon our size. And we've heard, being in health and wellness, that it's suggested that we drink half our body weight in ounces of water. And we all know that there is a difference in the types of water we drink. And I share with women too sometimes, Cathy, that, if you tend to be a little bit constipated, you can put a pinch of sea salt in your water, and that helps open your cells. But with the knowledge, Cathy, that most people are drinking more water right now, what is it that they don't know that's in most waters? And I know this could be tap water, but it can be bottled water. And I would love for you just to share just a little bit about both of those.
As far as the comparison piece, tap water, obviously you can go to your municipal water supplier and go to their website and they will tell you what's in it. So we never diss the tap water because we need municipal water supply for our machines to function. Mm-hmm. So once you have a machine, which is about the size of a coffee maker, it filters the tap water, for contaminants and for inorganic properties that we don't want to actually consume. So our machine has a hose that you use to drink from and a discharge hose that takes the yuckies out. So that's the best news of all. So we filter first, ionize second. So our water is loaded with antioxidants through an electrolysis procedure. That's the cool part. As far as bottled water, there are gazillions of choices out there. And once again, you can read the label if you wish. Some of the labels that we actually use for our demonstrations when we meet with people in person or virtually, we hold up the bottle and we read from the label. Many of them are purified by reverse osmosis. If you choose to drink RO water, that's certainly your choice, but that's not what we suggest because that strips the water of all minerals. And then people say, well, I remineralize the water. That's terrific, but what are you remineralizing the water with? So that's why it's one more step. And with the Kangen water machine, you don't need to do that. So the best news for us is if you choose RO, which is most bottled water, that's great. If you choose to drink tap, that's also terrific. But when we have found a better way, we choose to share it with the masses. And that topic that you mentioned that requires sea salt is usually not an issue when you drink Kangen water.
And that's fantastic. So speaking a little bit more about bottled water, there is a chemical that is released from the plastics. Can you share a little bit about that? And we also have had lots of studies and read studies about what that particular chemical that is released from the plastics does to people's bodies.
Absolutely. For the research that I have done, and please do your own, and we always suggest that you go to Google Scholar, not necessarily Google for your research, because it does take you a few steps further. So if plastic is in a plant and the people in the plastics plant are in basically hazmat suits, which stands for hazardous materials, that's usually a clue that what they're breathing and touching might not be the best thing for the human body. So if the plastic bottles are formulated with formaldehyde, that probably is not the best thing for your lungs or certainly for your skin. So if that's what's in plastic bottles, and again, I say if, do your own research, and then the water that goes into the plastic bottles, especially if you read the label, one of the very most popular bottled waters actually said on the label, water source, public water supply, Dallas, Texas. Now, great for Dallas, hallelujah. And a public water supply automatically we know has regulation, therefore it's fine, right? It's approved. So literally this plastic bottle fills up from public water supply in Dallas, Texas. And you're paying $1 a bottle usually for that water. Terrific. What if the water bottle gets hot? What if the water bottle gets cold? That breaks down the plastic formulation as we have found in our research. Again, do your own. And then what happens when you drink it? So if people's health is deteriorating and people are drinking more and more water, can you see the type of water they drink is super duper important. So we always say, do your research. Don't take my word for it. This is tried and true for 48 years. And we don't cure, treat, diagnose anything ever. This is just water. But of all the water I've ever researched, I would never, ever, ever, ever be without my Kangen water and my machine. The good news is they're very portable and I can take it with me when I travel, which I do. I get to go to Florida to see my yayas, as we call ourselves, and I pop my machine off my own faucet, unplug it from the wall, put it in my backpack, and take it to the condo down in Daytona Beach. So it's a great fit for me to be part of this Kangen water family.
That is awesome, because I also know I do a lot of research for cancer thrivers and people that have gone through some challenges, and the BPs, A's, and the different things that you're talking about get leached out of the plastics, because they do find those chemicals and trace chemicals in cancer cells too, Cathy. And so, you know, people don't realize that anything that we're either putting on our skin, waters, or whether we're consuming or whatever it is, becomes part of us. I mean, our body is a beautiful filter that God gave us some great organs and things to do to help. But sometimes, especially in this day and time, we are now in a combative stage. We are, you know, those incredible filters that we have that are doing their job, every once in a while, we need to help our bodies do some things. And that's why I have encouraged people to do, some gentle cellular cleansing, fat soluble cleansing, because those chemicals and those things, anytime they're in our body, they have to be encapsulated by fat. And that's why we've seen another way that people, again, can gain some weight, unwanted weight, and they don't understand why. So we're such a miracle, Cathy. It's amazing. But, so how many days do you think somebody can go without water, Cathy?
I can't even imagine ever going without water, but I do know that water is more foundational than food. We can't go without air for more than a minute or two. And I can't imagine going without water for 3 days, but some people have done that before. And after that, I would not want to be around that particular person from a standpoint of deterioration, not only of their cells, but definitely of their body as a whole. What is the actual answer, Miss Nancy?
Just really exactly the same thing. It depends on the environment and the climate of what they're also combating, whether it's really cold, freezing weather, or hot, or whatever. And so that's another great thing that we can share with everybody too, is because, when we talk about, consuming about half your body weight in ounces of water, and that's winter and summer.
Yes.
And people I have known, unfortunately, have died of dehydration. And so, usually when your body is getting thirsty, you're already dehydrated. And people, they think about, when you're in the air conditioning, guess what? You ever looked at an air conditioning unit and you see what's coming out with the unit? All that water, it's sucking the moisture out of the air. And when it sucks the moisture out of the air, it sucks the moisture out of us. And again, even, when you're doing in the hot, in the winter months, sometimes I have to admit, it's more challenging for me to drink the right amount of water, Cathy, in the wintertime than it is in the summer, because I can just chug room temperature water. But in the wintertime, I had to be a little bit more mindful. And sometimes what I'll do for myself is I'll fill up a pitcher and I'll know that this is the amount of water that I need to be consuming that day. And so, when my mom was in her 90s, and I can remember going over and just, checking in on her or calling her or whatever. And so she would have her glass of water beside her. And I would say, so how are you doing drinking your water? She goes, oh, I've got it right here with me. And I'm going, so how much have you drank? And what I did for her too, Cathy, was I took a pitcher of water and I showed her how much that she should be drinking. And I even put a little line on the pitcher. So I said, this is what you need to, put in your water every single day. You fill up your pitcher and you can drink. I said, Mom, you can use it for tea and you can use it for other water-based drinks too. But I used to always, it made me laugh, Cathy, when she goes, I got my water right here. And I would say, so are you drinking it? So,
I think it works better when you drink it.
It does. So do you have any tips or anything, suggestions for also people to be mindful as far as how much water that they're consuming, on a daily basis?
Absolutely. And to be totally honest with you, a lot of people think, and especially you mentioned networking earlier, a lot of people think, like, let's say there's a very popular networking organization out there called BNI, Business Networking International. Okay. BNI allows one person per industry per chapter. All right. So the great news is when a health and wellness spot opens up, I never take it. I am not health and wellness. I am water technology. Mm-hmm. My biggest partners are health and wellness experts, professionals, because one of the demos that I do, and again, I can do this virtually, is I ask the water professional, the wellness professional to show me, or in this case, bring me their best drink powder, whatever you choose to do every single day. Then we're going to mix it with bottled water, tap water, and Kangen. The bottled water separates first. Once you stir it up, it separates first. We've got the clear glasses right here to take a look. The tap water separates secondly, and the Kangen stays blended the longest. Then I have the professional. This is what do you usually mix your drink with? And they usually say bottled because they want pure water, and that's purified water supposedly. And usually they say only bottled water. Fantastic. Stir it up again and take a sip. They're fine with that. The next one is tap. Stir it up, take a little sip. I know you don't want to drink tap water. Now you don't have to stir the Kangen because it's still blended. Take a sip. And they instantly say, what's in that? It tastes amazing. Nothing's in it. This is your powder that you brought to my demo. And these are the 3 water choices that your clients would be using. And so literally they can tell a difference in taste and the blended piece. So I never take the health and wellness seat in an industry exclusive event organization, because I want to bond and partner with the health and wellness experts, because most of the time they realize the importance of water. My client base would be massage therapists. What do they say after a massage? Drink lots and lots of water to flush out all the toxins I just released in your cells. What does the chiropractor say after an adjustment? Drink lots and lots of water so this adjustment lasts longer. What does the doctor say? You're dehydrated. And even when you go to a hair salon, what have you now been subjected to? All that stuff that you're breathing in, toxic chemicals. With our particular machine, you can actually have 7 different pH levels of water, which takes you from hand sanitizer to laundry and carpet cleaning to carpet shampooer to every single thing in between, including toner for your skin and spritz for your hair that keeps the frizzies away. So 7 different pH levels of water, each having a myriad of uses. I don't have to buy chemicals anymore. And so just like you were mentioning about water consumption in the winter, why is our skin driest in the winter months? Not because the heat's on. You can sit outside and not be dry because you're drinking water constantly in the summer. It's because we drink less. We drink hot coffee, hot tea, hot cocoa, hot beverages because it makes us feel warmer, but we very seldom drink enough water, just like you mentioned. Some people use a juice bottle, like a gallon juice bottle. And just like you mentioned, minimum therapeutic hydration is 1/2 ounce per pound of body weight. So you weigh 100 pounds, you drink 50 ounces minimum. If you have a health challenge, we don't cure, treat, or diagnose anything. But if you have a health challenge, you might want to up that amount for the first 20 or 30 days, because it helps you flush out the toxins in your cells so your body can start rejuvenating on its own. So once you've got the best water available, then automatically your body responds to that. And the difference that a lot of people have experienced in the 14 years I've been doing this full time has been seriously phenomenal. And usually they are the ones that I have do the testimonies at my organization events.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things to help people to realize it's, before and afters. And I was talking to one of my clients today, and she was being grateful for some of the things that she and I have been talking about, some suggestions. And I just reminded her, I said, if we want something different, we have to do something different. And because, we get in these routines and we do the same thing day in and day out, which, there's really good things that we can do every day and day in and day out. It's just like for myself, having my quiet time, my devotions in the morning, having my exercise, and having my jet fuel nutrition. Those are some good foundational things. But if I'm doing the same exercises over and over and over again, my body's going, oh, yay, this is fun. Or if I'm eating the same thing day in and day out, my body's going, yay, I'm good, I'm happy. But then when we have to make those good, better, best choices and, make those differences, then that's when we can start seeing some different changes too. So we're going to stop again just for a moment and have something fun, Cathy. So what does a table become when you accidentally pour water on it?
Tell me.
A pool table.
Wow. You had to search long and hard for these, didn't you? That is awesome.
It is so much fun. I know. So Cathy, another thing, an area that I wanted to touch on just a little bit, and then I'm going to let you say anything else that comes to your heart and your mind, because I want to find out more about what you've got coming up or whatever. But, we've heard a lot about, recycling plastics and stuff. And I'm not sure if everybody knows about the plastic island on the coast of California. But what do you see and think, just even for our environment, the difference in continuing on with the plastic bottle, plastic water manufacturing?
I can see a lot of challenges as we get more and more plastic in our lives. The first thing I'd like to share is, how many times have you gone to a big box store to haul cases and cases of bottled water to your home or office? Number one, inconvenience. Number two, expense. So that's right off the bat. Plus, let's do the math. If we're supposed to drink 64 ounces of water a day, we weigh 128 pounds, whatever that looks like. So you're supposed to drink 64 ounces for minimum therapeutic hydration. Maybe what is that? 5 bottles? So now you basically have drunk 5 bottles out of that massive case. That's only going to last you 3 or 4 days. So now you go back and buy another case. And then people say, I have water delivered to my home in big bottles. Fantastic. As long as you're strong enough to lift that thing, basically a gallon of water weighs about 8 pounds. So if that's 3 or 4 or 5 gallons in that big bottle, yikes. And so how often do you change that? How often do you clean that container that you tip the bottle upside down on? And how often do you clean that little section where that spigot goes down in? The whole thing sounds a little bit anti-sanitary to me, but if people say, oh, no, we clean it or the company takes care of it as far as maintenance, congratulations, and that's wonderful. But how long has that water been in that plastic bottle? Plus, did you know, if you look very closely on most bottles of water, there's an expiration date? How, my friends, does water expire? And what does it expire from? Today it's living, tomorrow it's dead. What does that look like? So please just think about some of these things. And again, go to Google Scholar, type in water, type in alkaline. One thing I did want to share with you, Nancy, when you were talking about quantity, I have a gentleman who found me on the internet. And the good news is I'm findable on the internet because of my SEO. And so he said, would you be willing to give me 2 weeks of free water? Because I want to see if there's a difference between Kangen and alkaline. I said, absolutely. He came over to my house and he got 5 gallons of water every 3 or 4 days because the energy in the water lasts approximately that long. So I meet him the first time, fill up his large container, take it out to his car. He comes back 3 days later, fill it up again. By this time, we're getting a little rapport going. And I said, what did you drink before Kangen? For 5 years, he had been going to a certain store that shall remain nameless and spending $1 a gallon on alkaline water for his family. So he was basically buying 20 gallons a week for his family. He's got a family of 6 and hauling it. Hello. And we did the math. You've done this for 5 years. Yes. 20 gallons a week. Yes. $1 a gallon. Yes. He would have been able to purchase 3 Kangen water machines in that amount of time. So he wanted to know if there's a difference in water before he switched. So he was drinking the water. He noticed differences in his body. His wife, oh my gosh, jumped on board instantly because she said, my skin is so much softer, I can't believe it. And needless to say, he purchased his own unit, not only for saving money, but he could tell a difference in his body from alkaline to Kangen. And so he had been spending so much money purchasing alkaline water from a store.
Isn't that amazing? And but you know, people don't know. When you don't know, but then when you do know, then we can make, you know, those decisions and those choices. So we're getting ready to come to the end of our time, Cathy. But
oh my gosh,
I know we have so much fun. We could just keep on talking and having an awesome time. But I thought it was an interesting, and you and I both had the same information that water is so important in God's word that it is mentioned 722 times in the Bible, more often than faith, hope, prayer, and worship. So Cathy, how can people get in touch with you and how can they connect with you?
Well, thank you for that. And with my company, you're able to DBA, which means doing business as. So as soon as I started my business in 2008, I knew right off the bat, I was going to do this as a full-time company, a full-time job because of the results I got with my own children. And I made a deal with God. If the water works on ABC issues, I'm quitting my full-time job and doing this as my business. And that's 14 years ago. And he's blessed it every chance. Mm-hmm. So let's say, how am I going to name my business? CathysWater.com? Not so much. But as soon as I said, Lord, what am I going to name this business? There are so many miracles with this water. So I flew upstairs to my office to see if miracleswithwater.com, .org, everything I could think of was still available, and it was. So needless to say, I purchased as many domains as I could, and Miracles with Water was born. And then I got a logo that the gentleman that did my logo for me, oh my gosh, I have thanked him a million times over. I said, I need a water drop, purple and green, the ripple effect, and I want Jesus Christ in the center.
Mhm.
And it took him quite a few tries because he didn't catch that concept, but my logo was born. And quite frankly, I do still love it to this day. Miracles with Water.
I do too. Thank you so much, Cathy. So I am encouraging each one of you to come back and connect with Cathy and just, find out more one-on-one with her. And join us the next time for more support, again, for your healthy mind, body, and spirit. And contact me, the Healthy Sales Chick, for your complimentary 30-minute It's All About You. You can just go to my website, thehealthysaleschick.com, and schedule a session. Again, thank you for being with us. I'm Nancy White, a 30-plus year researcher and developer of natural, healthy lifestyles. Be blessed, and remember to take care of your temporary temple until you get your permanent maintenance-free one. And connect with our other Win-Win Women community and check out more shows. We have got some amazing resources for everyone, and you can reach it 24/7 and just learn more about whatever it is. Thank you, Cathy, again so much for your great time that you have been with us. And I am so grateful and happy that God brought you into my life.
Thank you, Nancy. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Okay.